Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy flippin' Tuesday. Oh, excuse me. Hope everybody's doing well, man. We got video gaming news for December 12th, and then BG3, more BG3, man. Yeah. This flippin' Boulder's Gate area is just so polluted with NPCs. Jesus, it's kind of intense, man. But we'll get through it. Lots of flipping NPCs, lots of flipping text to read. Jesus, it is quite intense with all that stuff. But we'll get through it. We'll get it all figured out, man. It'll be a good day, and hope you guys are doing well. What up, Pinky? So on that note, man, let's do what we do and get into some video gaming news. Man, my hair is flipping wild this morning. Let's go do it. Let's see what we got. Oh, geez. Hold on. Totally forgot. There we go. Yeah, that'll do it. Solid. Now we can get over there. It's good now. Now we're good. Nice. What the? There it is. Cool, man. Wow, Epic won. Your day is pure chaos. Oh no, dude. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Epic Games wins antitrust case against Google. Wow. You know who's maybe going to benefit by this too is Microsoft. Depending on what all was on the table here, Microsoft's trying to come into this like App Store game quite heavy now. We'll see what this means. Your work sucks. Kappa, bro. Don't lose your job over me. I'm just kidding. You're the best worker ever, dude. Those posters that you produce are... Nobody else does it like you, dude. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this, dude. Google loses monopoly case to Fortnite maker Epic Games. I'm sorry you've had a rough day, dude. Hopefully the gameplay day will perk you up a bit, dude. Yeah, dude. Day before studio shuts down. Days after disastrous launch. Yeah, we heard this from our buddy Vault yesterday, dude. Vault was telling us about this, you know, and Yep. Not surprised. See what else we got. Let's see what else we got. There's a Discover Samsung winter sale going on. What is this? $40 million investment in major new free-to-play football video game, UFL? Huh. If it's not FIFA and it's not EA, almost seems like a win already, you know what I mean? We have that up. God dang, dude. Day before devs, crap happens. Is that how that works? Gaming Bible is so clickbait. Yeah, that'll be fine. BBC will work. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, come on. Alan Wake 2's update is out. That includes the new game plus, nightmare difficulty, and new ending. Oh, for real? Suspicion that it's just AI stuff? Could be, dude, yeah. It could be. That wouldn't surprise me with how much clickbait crap we get out of there, dude. Yeah, that's a thought, dude. Yeah. I try to avoid it as much as possible. Estimated that 9,000 games industry jobs have been lost this year. That seems about right. Terrible. Fantastic is the dev behind the day before. We're going to talk about that. That actually makes a lot of sense, dude. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. So I should probably just start doing this. And going, or is it like this? Minus site gaming Bible. I think that's how that works, right? Will that remove all gaming Bible stuff? I think that's how that works. It's probably what I should start doing. Just get away from all of the gaming Bible results. Blessed to be in this industry. It's a rough go, dude. Yeah, I think career wise, it's a daunting thing to look at right now. We'll pull that up. Unfortunately, there's so much of what we're coming across already. That was a different site, actually. You talking about whenever I was getting polluted with like the game is hard stuff? Yeah, could have been another site that was doing the same thing and just flooding my search results, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was game is hard, and game is hard could be doing the same exact thing though. Yeah, yep. You could be exactly right, but yeah, it was game is hard. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Absolutely right, buddy. I haven't really been seeing any of their stuff anymore though. Let's pull this up, man. Gaming's war on developers. Oh, Leaker says Sony expects PS5 Pro specs to service this month. Might not be much to read into here, but we'll see. You got a pretty good noggin there, buddy, remembering what that website was. I remembered what it was, but I didn't really expect you to. That's pretty good, dude. Doom is 30 years old, man. Crazy. This is weird though. Now I'm getting like March 2nd of 2020. Probably got republished or something. Ooh, Baldur's Gate 3 players advised to manually update their Xbox to combat disappearing saves. That's fun. Yeah, look at this crap, dude. Why am I getting searches from way back? Disney Dreamlight Valley can get wrecked, dude. Let me see something. It's just gamingbible.com, is that it? Yeah. Does this change anything if I put the .com in there? Let me see something. Still getting those old search results. That's really weird. It's supposed to be within the past 24 hours, dude. Still getting those old search results. That's really odd. Let's go one more page here, though. Microsoft is exploring offering free Xbox Game Pass streaming with ads. We knew this was going to be coming, man. Sort by new, yeah, could do that, yeah. Sort by date, yeah. At this point, I've already gone through so much of it, I don't want to start over. But yeah, that's definitely a play. I might have to start doing that too. I don't normally come across this issue though. That's just weird that happens, you know? Is it just a lack of current articles? Is that what it is? There's no way, dude. There's no way, because I mean there's articles over the past few days and everything too, but all of a sudden it like skips to like years ago. That's so weird. There's something wrong with like the way their search results get allocated sometimes. It's really odd. Or it's like they get republished or something, but they still have the old date on them. I don't know what's happening. Is what? Jesus. Yeah, let's do it real quick. Let's see what we got. Sort it by date. I need to start remembering to do that too, instead of just going past 24 hours. Somebody is just jamming out outside, dude. Wait, what is this? Dude, I do not want to see Disney come be a big part of this gaming industry. Like, as a developer or publisher, you know, like they've already got a large enough foothold with just the games they have and everything that, dude, I don't care to see anything more from Disney in this industry. I just don't. And we know it's coming. There's no way to avoid it. Oh, God dang it, dude. What up, Ferret? I don't care to see it, man. With the kind of company Disney is, it is not something that appeals to me. I don't think there's going to be much out of that, but we'll look at it real quick. Lego Fortnite's supposed to be pretty good stuff, man. From what I've heard so far. Anybody tried it yet? Let's see what this PC deal is. Yo, 1 second, guys. Got the whole Epic Google thing up. Today's the day for Valhalla, right? Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla drop. Since its acquisition by PlayStation, this legendary video game studio is doing very badly. I think we all know who that is. We've talked enough about it right now. Oh, really? Wonder if we'd already talked about it. I haven't seen anything this morning. Weirdly enough. Yeah, Doom 30th anniversary, dude. Insane. Well, we'll stick with this, man. Stick with this. Don't know anything about Lego Fortnite, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I just assumed it was going to be like Fortnite with like Lego stuff, but apparently it's not, you know. Apparently it's more like a co-op experience of like going into a Lego world and doing more of a like base building, resource gathering, a bit of a dungeon diving experience. Yeah, basically, I think it's kind of more like that. So that's the thing that weirds me out is anytime I hear, and I don't understand why. That's what I was talking about before when we were talking about this same exact subject. I don't understand why Epic is calling everything Fortnite. Because every time I hear Fortnite, I think Battle Royale, right? And I think their shooter game. It's muffled again? No way. Oh, don't tell me that, dude. Thought we were over this. All right. Thanks, buddy. Battle Royale, right? And I think their shooter game. Yep. It's muffled again? No way. Oh my god, dude, how? Doing everything Fortnite. Because every time I hear Fortnite, I think Battle Royale. Right? And I think their shooter game. It's muffled again? No way. Everything Fortnite. Because every time I hear Fortnite, I think Battle Royale. Right? And I think their shooter game.
Yeah, it got a little bit
muffled again? No
there,
way.
Yeah. It might have been I just got like too close to the mic or something.
Doing everything Fortnite. Because every time I hear Fortnite, I think Battle Royale. Right?
I don't know. We'll just have.
And I think their shooter game. It's muffled again? No way. Doing everything Fortnite. Because every time I hear Fortnite, I think Battle Royale. Right?
That did get a little bit weird there.
Their shooter game.
Hold on. I didn't hear it as it didn't sound as bad as it did the other day, but seems like it was fine all day yesterday, dude. So and I really thought I had it fixed. One second. Let's see something. You heard it a little bit yesterday too. God dang it, dude. Feels bad. Okay. Well, maybe my mic is dying, dude. Maybe that is it. Wait, what? We talked about it? I must have thought you were talking about not yesterday, but the previous day, maybe. I don't know. Oh well. No, I think what it was after I changed something, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's much better." Only when my voice goes deep. Yo, what up, True? Give me 1 second, guys.
Disappointed!
Yeah, no doubt. That's not what I want. One second, guys. Let me see something real quick. Excuse me. All right. Well, who knows, man? It might be time for a new microphone. I don't know. There's much more I can do. Love that show. You talking about Hercules, dude? Yeah, Hercules. Xena was better, dude. Fight me. Excuse me. Yeah. Love Xena too. That's funny, bro. Um, well, you guys let me know how it sounds throughout the day, okay? The mic might be dying. That might be the case. I really thought it was the software stuff. Xena got really weird towards the end of the series, though. Well, Kevin Sorbo got really weird through life, so potato. Sound okay? Yeah. All right. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. Maybe might be time for a new mic, but you guys let me know. I know yesterday Pinky said that you know, yeah, I know, Ferret. I know. I'm just making I'm just rousing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Um Let me check one other thing real quick. Okay. Sound fine at the moment. It could have something to do with like the I might just need to be talking a bit better. It didn't sound as bad that time as it had previously and stuff. I don't know. I might need to just be a little bit more careful with the way that I'm talking into the microphone and stuff. You know, I don't know. but I don't think we used to have these issues. It could be an issue with the microphone kind of dying on me a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I might need to just go ahead and buy a new microphone just in case. So I appreciate you guys letting me know. Could be a thing, dude. We'll see. You guys let me know how it sounds through the rest of the day. You know what I mean? And we'll see. um, yeah, I do. And I'll probably try to do that tomorrow if I can find the time to get it done, since tomorrow's the day off and everything. But I don't know. You guys just let me know how it sounds for the rest of the day if you don't mind, and we'll just move forward with that. I know yesterday I got a little bit of some feedback about the way it was sounding and that it was still not quite as clear as it normally was. And then I made a change and everybody was like, oh yeah, that's much better. And then unfortunately here we are again with some issues. So I don't know, man. I'm at the point now where I've almost got to assume that I'm having issues with my microphone, just as a mechanical thing because I can't figure anything else that has changed. You know what I mean? But I'll go through my troubleshooting steps of figuring that out, and we'll just keep moving forward, man. I love it. Got to love it. All right, let's get back in this. Sorry, guys. So RTX 3060 gaming PC gifted eye-catching Amazon deal in time for Christmas. Gaming PC deal has just dropped on Amazon. What we got here? Originally priced at $820 roughly. Now even more enticing at $740. 10% off, saving you about 80 bucks. It's got an Intel Core i7, a 3060. It should have a solid state drive, as any modern PC should. You've got rainbow puke RGB lighting in it, so that means more frames per second, right? Where is this even out of? What? I don't even know this manufacturer, dude. An STG Arbron. I don't even know who that is. You would need to look in. This is through Amazon. I would highly recommend. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. I would heavily recommend anybody look into what the customer support warranties are, things like that for this company. Yeah. Google Trends reveals the most searched games. What is this, dude? I didn't pull this up. What is this? All right, moving on. Excuse me. Microsoft is exploring offering free Xbox Game Pass streaming with ads. The company has openly discussed it as a potential business model for emerging markets. Xbox's chief financial officer Tim Stewart recently told attendees at the Wells Fargo TMT Summit that the company wants to bring Game Pass to every screen that can play a game. One potential method of expanding the service's reach that he floated included offering ad-supported game streaming to players in emerging markets. The vision I like to talk about is we have xCloud game streaming, so you can subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate and you can stream hundreds of games to really any endpoint that has a browser experience, Stewart said, as reported by Tweaktown. For models like Africa or India, Southeast Asia, maybe places that aren't console first, you can say, hey, do you want to watch 30 seconds of an ad and then get 2 hours of game streaming? Africa is, 50% of the population. 50% of the population is 23 years old or younger, with a growing disposable income base. All with cell phones and mobile devices, not a lot of high-end disposable income, generally speaking. Quote, so we can go in with our own business models and say there's millions of gamers we would never have been able to address, and now we can go in with our business models. Windows Central also claims to have interviewed evidence that such a business model could be reaching a production stage ahead of its possible introduction next year. Security researcher Tidal OS is reported to have recently shared code snippets from the Xbox OS that referenced offering 15-minute blocks of Game Pass access on an earned time basis. It was also claimed last year that Microsoft had been surveying players about the possibility of introducing a cheaper ad-supported tier of Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, we knew this was going to be a thing coming. Really. I doubt it'll just be 30 seconds of an ad for like 2 hours of game streaming, It'll be more like, I would assume, probably like 5 minutes of ads is something more realistic. 5 to 10 minutes worth of ads for like 2 hours worth of gaming, something like that, not 30 seconds. This could be something to begin with, but I doubt it'll stay this minimal. So we'll see how it goes. Many subscription services, especially in the gaming realm, are going to probably follow suit here and be trying out these kinds of things, So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Stupid Mike. Oh, eyelash, dude. Disney has some news and it's reassuring. I'll be the judge of that. What is the current status of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? Dead or alive? Opinions are divided, and the recent statement further adds to the confusion. Let's see the details. In a recent newsletter published by Axios, Sean Shoptaw, Senior Vice President of Gaming at Disney, discussed several hot topics surrounding Disney games, including the status of Disney's partnerships, acquisition rumors, and the situation of the Star Wars remake, Knights of the Old Republic. What happens to the project? Regarding the highly anticipated remake Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Shoptalk couldn't say much other than that he still believes there is demand for this game. Oh, thanks, Captain Obvious. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that there's going to always be demand for Knights of the Old Republic. which is why there's still so many people that still play the original. You know? Conflicting reports from Jason Schreier and Jeff Grubb, video game specialists, have been circulating on the progress of development. However, Shoptaw's comments seem to be suggesting that Disney is interested in eventually releasing the Knights of the Old Republic remake. He states exactly, I can't say much about it for the reasons that I hope are obvious, but Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is obviously an incredibly popular game, one that we're extremely proud of, and we think there's still a high demand for this one. I'll leave it there. For the rest, it is mainly a question of statements on Disney's policy regarding video games. Shoptaw indirectly responded to rumors that Disney might buy a major game publisher like EA. Oh, God, that would be just a terrible, terrible thing to see, actually. I mean, not that EA can get any worse. I mean, you would think that, but Disney could make EA worse, I think. A Bloomberg report suggested Disney CEO Bob Iger was being pushed to buy a gaming company like EA to have a bigger presence in the gaming industry. Shoptaw did not directly address this rumor, but said there are a lot of conversations around what Disney should do, and a lot of it relates to big acquisitions. We're very happy with our current strategic position and the work we are doing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all know what the current state of Coder is. It was a very public fiasco between Sony, Disney, Embracer Group. They've all got a piece of this pie, right? They've all got something invested here. Embracer originally gave this to Aspire Studios, their subsidiary. Aspire botched it, apparently. When it was being showcased internally to Sony execs and Embracer executives, they immediately fired the heads of the project all the way around. And then they handed it off to Saber, apparently, who is another Embracer subsidiary. Then that it's basically just been stagnant ever since. It's gone nowhere from what we know. And so I think that obviously anybody that knows anything about Knights of the Old Republic, anybody that knows anything about the legendary original game, it being one of the more notoriously iconic RPGs as a whole over the entire history of video gaming, and quite honestly, probably more often than not, people consider it the best Star Wars game ever made. If you're not going to do this right, you don't do it. If you're not going to remake this game in a very, very good, very solid manner, you don't do it. That's all there is to it. So, I don't know. We'll see what comes. This is not a great article. It's like Disney has some news and it's reassuring. Not really, you know. I think it was actually, yeah, I think it was a BioWare game. Dude, I would have to go look. We can pull it up. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, BioWare and Aspire for Mac. Yep. Good call there, buddy. Yep. The good old BioWare, you know? Old BioWare. Yeah. So, and to what you said before, the whole, why does this feel like Ready Player One? Because it is. It's also inevitable. I've talked about this a lot. I mean, you know, whether you want to talk about actually being gate kept from playing games by watching ads, or you want to talk about live ad space in live service games, or you want to talk about product placement, it all has its part, right? We've seen it for years on end in various forms and fashions. And it will only become more and more ingrained in the industry that we are all a part of here, video games. Yeah, it's inevitable. It doesn't necessarily feel good, but it is going to continue to play a bigger and bigger part of it. Uh, so, um, well, and okay, so I think that that's because I think there's two different things behind that. Product placement is not as invasive. It's not as or as noticeable quite often. It's something that you is part of the gameplay, as opposed to something like having to watch dedicated ads before you can actually play the game. You know, I mean, that's something entirely different. You're literally having to watch products, marketing for products before you can even play the titles you want to play. There's a big, big, big difference. You know, we've also been acclimated to the product placement ball game. That's been integrated to the gaming stuff forever. You know, I mean, it's been in there for a long, long time. So we're a bit more desensitized to it, right? Um, yeah, Pinky. Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. Yeah. Uh huh. Yep. So it's like there's two different things there. I think that it's absolutely something that is just not nearly as in your face. The product placement quite often. It's just like even we. I mean, it's been around for flipping ever. The first Scaretober, even we were playing the Fear games, and it was like big, chunky, fat brick XPS laptops that were thrown around in that game, and I was dying and laughing about it. It was like, look at these big old fat XPS. Because I remember wanting one of those whenever I was a kid. I remember wanting a big fat gaming laptop. Those things were dope back in the day. And then you see them in a game nowadays, and it was like, oh my god, you know. But it is a much different thing than being actually gate kept from your gameplay by having to watch ads. But it's coming, man. I think at least in the form of, are you willing to pay to avoid it? I mean, that's the world we live in now, right? And again, I mean, it can even be, we can talk about it in the same form of like what streaming is, what the channel is here and everything too. I mean, I have ads turned off to the greatest extent possible. I don't run ads myself. I don't run ads myself. I have ads turned off to the greatest extent possible, but it's inevitable that there are some people that have to watch ads more than other people, because if you're not subbed, Amazon's going to make you watch ads, right? No matter who, or no matter what stream you're in, if you're not subbed to them, you're going to have to watch ads, right? Or they will try. That's right. They will try. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you know what I'm saying though, right? So I'm just getting across to the fact that like this is has become the world that we live in with entertainment. Yeah. So obviously you guys, everybody can do their research. They can figure out there are ways to try and circumvent these processes, right? I am not a big fan of it for our community, so I try to turn it off to the best I can. Any kind of leverage that I have on that situation, I try to take advantage of it, but I only have so much power when it comes to those things, and the rest of it is something that each individual person has to kind of educate themselves on. But default base, when it comes to entertainment, the entertainment world we live in, even subscriptions, I mean, we've transitioned away from, even take like subscription services for movies and TV, right? We've transitioned away from the whole quite often it's just no more cable. There are still some people out there that have like a cable box or whatever, but for the most part, there's no more. More and more and more and more people are cable cutters, right? Dude, I haven't had cable since like 2008, I think, something like that. And no more physical stuff. Like, that's why video stores shut down. It's all subscription services. Started with Netflix, and then all the other studios started doing it. And now it's like, I mean, how many subscription services are they trying to get you to buy into every single day? But they all have a tier, right? They all have a tier where it's like, well, you can buy in at a lower price point, but you'll have to watch commercials. But you don't have to watch those commercials if you buy our premium package. Same thing gaming's going to do, right? It's just the same exact thing. Gaming's just a little bit behind the other, like, movie and TV show entertainment industry as far as this whole streaming thing goes. But I mean, it's going to be the same thing, I think. It's even with what we're reading here, Microsoft being more along the lines of, we might even, be willing to let people just watch ads to have some subscription time, as opposed to just needing to buy in at a lower price point for the tier that makes you watch ads occasionally, right? We'll just have to see how it progresses. There's different ways in which it'll be integrated for the gaming industry, and we'll just have to see how it evolves. I don't know. I don't think it feels fun for anybody, but this is the evolution of what is coming to the table for us, like it or not. I think that people have to brace for this fact, And yes, absolutely. People that are willing to educate themselves and willing to take the time will figure out ways to try and circumvent it. People always have. Leaker says Sony expects PS5 Pro specs to surface this month as dev kits make their way to game studios. PlayStation 5 Pro could be announced as early as 2024. Let me know, if you guys would, how often my mic and my voice are sounding bad, okay? If you don't mind. It seemed like it was happening quite often a few days ago, and then as of like yesterday, it was better. Yeah, I think that's the big thing there, Ferret, that you're talking about is, and we talked about this recently with the whole Assassin's Creed thing, right? Assassin's Creed was accidentally pushing out ads to their. It's not a live service game. It was a a retail. It wasn't a game as a service. It was a game people paid up front for, and I think that this brings about another huge issue. Yeah. It sounds normal right now, which is good. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. You guys let me know if it starts getting wonky, please. Okay. I appreciate it. I think that's the big separator there. I think that to an extent, I mean, it goes along with the same kind of sentiments that we have quite often. We talk about this kind of stuff, it's like what we talk about with monetization in games. We're understanding about certain games having monetization, especially when they're free to play and they're very well developed. We know that developers and publishers are going to need to make money in some form or fashion. But when a game comes out at a AAA price point, Exoprimal or Suicide Squad, yeah, and it's a AAA price point, and it's still just an absolute games that are absolutely riddled with monetization tactics within battle passes, season passes, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, just nonstop. Then DLC, it's like, man, for a AAA price tagged game, that's pretty gross. We're more accepting of the, you know, lower price tagged games, the smaller entry point price tagged games, or the free to play games needing to do that kind of thing. We understand it. Yeah. I think that this kind of sentiment falls in line with the whole ad space thing. You know, I'm more understanding of a free to play game maybe needing to run an ad during a loading screen or something. If you're getting to play for free, yeah, I can understand why they might run an ad for you during a loading screen, switching between, some different continent or some different world or something. They need to run a quick ad to try and, generate revenue. And you're playing a game as a free to play player. I can understand that a little bit more, as opposed to a game that you're buying into at an upfront cost, and then they still want to run ads. No, man. No, it's not the way that works. No. My guess is their first step to trick or desensitize people to the ads, put them into load screens. Oh, the load screens will get longer and more overtly ad like. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's where, I mean, dude, you know me. I'll be calling out these companies like mad for that kind of crap. Yeah. There's absolutely no way. If you pay for a game up front, yeah, and especially if it's like closer to a AAA price point or whatever, there's absolutely no way you should be dealing with ads in that game. No flipping way. It's not that people are. Yeah, I think that's the thing. There are acceptable ways, acceptable methods of incorporating these kinds of things, and there are unacceptable ways and unacceptable methods. You know, and we're gonna see both. Oh, for sure. Oh, that's a given, dude. But they'll also get blasted for it. It's just like Starfield got blasted for so many loading screens, dude. They didn't even put ads on their loading screens. But Starfield got blasted for how many loading screens that game has. In today's age of gaming, people understand that that's not something you should have to deal with. There are better ways to do game development, and people are going to see through it, man. But there are going to be devs that do it on purpose. The thing that's nice is that people are going to see through it and go, it shouldn't be like this. You guys are scummy buttholes, For the most part, anyways. People will see through it. I will. I know you will. Anthem also was still back in the day on like how long ago was Anthem? When did Anthem release? 2019. We're talking about, this was around that time where solid state drives were starting to become more prominent, but we still didn't have the new gen consoles or anything either. So the previous gen consoles were still running HDDs, correct? So that was going to be an issue for this game. Yeah. So this was absolutely still being run quite often on HDDs, which meant longer load times. At least on consoles it was. I can tell you that. On PC, people would be able to run it on solid state drives. But most people that were playing on console and stuff were probably running this on HDDs. And that didn't help anything, with the long load times and stuff like that. We all know how much of a difference a solid state drive can be. So that's just part of that evolution, right? I think that's something you have to take into consideration there. Um, that's why I mean, like nowadays, especially with the evolution of most people like solid state drives are the price difference between a moderately sized solid state drive and an HDD, a hard disk drive, is negligible, right? So anybody getting a modern PC is going to have solid state drives. Modern consoles, solid state drive, right? So I mean, especially nowadays, there's not a whole lot that developers can try and like pull the wool over our eyes with like long loading screens. It's because a lot of those issues have been circumvented by how fast our storage is now. 4 to 5 years ago, it would have been a little bit harder. They could have been like, well, it's a hard disk drive issue, and we probably would have gone, meh. Nowadays, it's going to be much harder for them to do that, I think, because the evolution's it's here. It's much more prevalent within our devices and our hardware and everything, right? Not to say there won't still be loading screens, but the loading screens have been now and will continue to be faster and faster, right? Exactly. And that's why. I mean, the prominence of these solid state drives now mean that developers aren't even testing their games on HDDs anymore, right? That's why they're not saying they won't work on HDDs, but they're not testing them on HDDs, right? So they're going, yo, you can play, but we cannot confirm what kinds of issues you might run into. And I've spoken about this before, especially if you're playing like a live service game, whether it be a competitive head-to-head multiplayer game or a co-op multiplayer game, anything like that. If you can't load into a queued up match on time with other people, you're running the risk of getting booted. And that's a risk you're going to run with something slow like an HDD moving forward, with how fast everything's getting with solid state drives. And I think, that's just one aspect of things that people need to take into consideration when thinking about the fact that the evolution has happened. If developers are no longer even testing games on hard disk drive, that means, and they're recommending, their recommendations are solid state. They just go storage, solid state drive, because we don't test this at all on hard disk drive. You're kind of on your own there. It just is what it is. Leaker says Sony expects PS5 Pro specs to surface this month as dev kits make their way to game studios. Gaming hardware leaker Tom Henderson and Insider Gaming Head reported on X that Sony expects all the specifications of its upcoming PlayStation 5 Pro console to leak this month. So, here in December, According to Henderson, Sony believes this is because PS5 Pro dev kits will be making their way to third-party studios this month, opening up the opportunity for leakers to get a sneak peek at the upcoming hardware. Henderson's post was made in response to another post made by X-user Nasser, who asked Tom Henderson about the legitimacy of new PS5 Pro hardware rumor. Can't comment on other people's leaks because I don't know. Internally, Sony is expecting full specs to leak this month because of dev kit distribution to third-party studios. If Henderson's response is legitimate, it confirms that Sony is already well underway working on its mid-cycle refresh console update, currently dubbed the PS5 Pro by the leaks and rumor mill. On top of this, the console is seemingly already in a functional state and will be provided to game developers in the form of dev kits shortly. This makes sense considering we are almost at the halfway point in the expected life cycle for the latest generation of consoles. It's been over 3 years since the PS5 arrived on the scene. Just over 3 years. It was November of 2020. And 4 years is generally the halfway point between the beginning of a new console generation and when the next gen console arrives. Traditionally, console makers like Sony and Microsoft often create a mid-cycle console refresh to drum up sales and interest in what is somewhat stale hardware. Usually these consoles come with upgraded hardware to boost performance and graphic quality. Yeah. The post Henderson responded to had some very interesting details on the new PS5 Pro. If the rumor is true, the Pro will feature a seriously upgraded GPU, boasting an architecture that is 2 generations newer than the GPU found in the outgoing PS5. Before we dive in, it's worth noting that Henderson himself confirmed that he doesn't know the legitimacy of this leak, so take this new information with a big dose of salt. They say that this... Okay, so the rumor is the PS5 Pro will come with a new GPU codenamed Viola, fabricated on TSMC's N4P process node. GPU will feature nearly double the number of WGPs found on the outgoing PS5, with 30 in total, and will come with AMD's latest RDNA 3 architecture. Leak also reports the new Viola GPU will come with ray tracing improvements derived from AMD's upcoming RDNA 4 GPU architecture. Features will include ray tracing hardware acceleration for things such as BVH traversal, which run via shaders on the outgoing PS5, as well as a new thread reordering technique to boost RT performance, similar to NVIDIA's shader execution reordering feature found in its 4000 series GPUs. Leak also states the new PS5 Pro will come with AMD's latest XDNA 2 neural processing unit for accelerating AI workloads. Specifically, it will be integrated for image upscaling purposes, utilizing a bespoke temporal machine learning upscaling technique made by Sony. Apparently, Sony wants to duplicate what NVIDIA and Intel are doing with their DLSS and XeSS technologies by upscaling with AI, which can offer higher image quality over non-AI image upscaling techniques such as FSR. The last major upgrade reportedly coming to the PS5 Pro is a slightly faster Zen 2 CPU clocked at 4.4 gigahertz. That wouldn't be a massive upgrade, but it is better than nothing. Whoa, all those letters, holy crappers. You know it's got to be a big deal, right? So many acronyms being tossed around. Yeah. Well, if this is the case, if the PS5 Pro is coming or being announced this month, then we'll get the deets, man. We'll have the deets, right? We try to stay on top of that kind of stuff, and we've kind of been hearing water cooler talk for a while that the PS5 Pro was going to be coming our way very soon, and it does make sense. It's we're we're really just 3 years into this console at this point, but that is quickly approaching the midway point for what is a normal lifespan of consoles. Yeah, 7 years roughly is a pretty good baseline average for consoles before they bring out a new gen to replace it. So God dang, bro. Where'd you get that PC from? You get that thing from Mars, bro? That thing sounds pretty cool. You got aliens that made that PC, bro. God dang. But we'll pay attention. God dang, Pete. You're crazy, bro. Oh, jeez. All right. Baldur's Gate 3 players advised to manually update their Xbox to combat disappearing saves. Larian says it's aware of saves being lost following crashes. I need so much coffee, dude. Larian Studios has advised Baldur's Gate 3 players to manually update their Xbox Series X and S consoles to combat an issue resulting in saves being lost. Studio also said on Monday that it has released a small update containing stability fixes for the recently released game. We are aware of the issues of saves disappearing after a crash, it wrote. An update is available from Xbox. To help with some of these issues, please manually update your Xbox through the system menu. After its release was held up by several months due to technical issues, meaning they had a really tough time getting this game to work on the Series S because it's an underpowered piece of hardware. Larian's Celebrated RPG was released for both the Series S and X to coincide with last week's Game Awards, where the title won 6 prizes. Alongside the coveted Game of the Year award, it took home prizes for Best Performance, Best Community Support, Best RPG, Best Multiplayer, and Player's Voice. Baldur's Gate 3, which was released digitally for PC in August and for PS5 and Mac the following month, is one of the current generation's most critically acclaimed titles and has been a big commercial hit too. Larian announced last month the game would be getting a physical deluxe edition, which will be released in the first quarter of the coming year for Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC, priced at $80 US or 80 euros. It will include a physical copy of the game, a world map. The PC version is going to include a physical copy of the game. Can we confirm that? It will include a physical copy of the game, a world map, an original 3-disc soundtrack, Mind Flayer poster, deluxe edition box designed to match the previous games, big box PC editions, 32 stickers, and 2 patches. Let's see this. Okay, nice. Brought up the, let's see here. On PC, it's a CD key and installer. So you guys are flipping liars, okay? Oh, here you go, buddy. This is pretty neat. It is pretty neat, but they need to be very deliberate here in ensuring people understand. Because I was like, wait, a physical PC game? I haven't seen one of those since like 2008. Like, come on, man. Here you go, dude. Google loses monopoly case to Fortnite maker Epic Games. The maker of popular video game Fortnite has won a U.S. court battle against Google, with a jury deciding that the search giant had operated an illegal monopoly. Epic Games sued Google in 2020, accusing it of unlawfully making its app store dominant over rivals. Hundreds of millions of people use the store to install apps for smartphones powered by Google's Android software. Google said it would challenge the outcome. However, Epic chief executive Tim Sweeney welcomed the verdict. Victory over Google. After 4 weeks of detailed court testimony, the California jury found against the Google Play monopoly on all counts. Mr. Sweeney wrote in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter. He said the court would start considering the issue of compensation in January. Lawyers for the two companies made their final arguments on Monday in a trial that lasted more than a month. Jurors unanimously found in favor of Epic on all counts. You know what's funny here, too? If you don't remember or don't recall, this is not the first time, first of all, this is not the first time that Epic has taken Google to court over this thing. And Apple as well, but this is the first time they've won, right? Now, the other funny thing about this is there were a bunch of other app developers, companies, right, that were originally going to be part of this lawsuit alongside Epic. But Google settled out of court with them. And that left Epic on their own. So Epic went up against Google on their own, with all these other companies having, been bought out basically, or settling out of court, before this all went down. And now all those developers are probably kicking themselves in the butt. Android and Google Play provided more choice and openness than any other major mobile platform, Wilson White, Vice President of Government Affairs and Public Policy at Google, said, "The trial made clear that we compete fiercely with Apple and its App Store, as well as app stores on Android devices and gaming consoles." He added, "We will continue to defend the Android business model and remain deeply committed to our users, partners, and the broader Android ecosystem." Case also challenged transaction fees of up to 30% that Google imposes on Android app developers, how the tech giant ties together its Play Store and billing services, which means developers must use both to have their apps in the store. The ruling, therefore, could give developers more agency over how their apps are distributed and how they make money from them. Google maintains that its commissions are competitive for the industry and that it provides added bonuses like reach, transaction, security, and protections against malware. But if the ruling stands, Google may have to allow more app stores into Android-powered devices and will lose revenue it makes from any in-app purchases. Epic has its own app store on PC, which offers its own products as well as third-party apps and games. It is a competitor to Steam, one of the world's largest video game distribution platforms. How big is Google's Play Store? You guys can read all this. If you don't know, you must have been sleeping under a rock. You know, it's massive. But this is a pretty big deal for the tech industry, the gaming industry, as a whole, in what this means moving forward, potentially for app stores. And maybe even for Microsoft too. Microsoft's trying to get into this ball game, and we'll see what this means for them moving forward also. Here you go. Vault brought this to our attention yesterday. I'm not surprised. Day before studio shuts down days after disastrous launch. I think it was Vault who told us about this yesterday, right? Day before has failed financially. Studio Fantastic says in a statement. Oh, this is the one you mentioned. Thanks, Ferret. Yeah. My bad. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, this was something that I'm not surprised about. Oh, you mean the one you couldn't remember? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Vault brought this to our attention yesterday, but I had forgotten I had this up today too, but we kind of already knew about it. The Day Before is a game that I was very, very adamant about trying to keep people away from until it had released. There were just so many red flags, man. Oh God. And I was trying to save some people some grief here about purchasing this game until they knew more about what it was going to be offering on release, and I was right. I was pretty sure I would be. I don't want games to be bad. I don't want games to fail, but there's definitely something to be said for trying to protect our protect us as consumers and lovers of video games from the scams that happen in this industry. It's many of us have been jaded by it. We've been duped before, and I definitely have. And I don't want to see it happen to anybody else. So, probably about 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty good at picking out these games that have shown too many indicators of being risky to pre-order or purchase on launch, and just trying to get people to be a little bit hesitant and wait and see what the game's going to be like before they decide to buy into it. This one was very obvious, and the studio, Fantastic X Studio, they had I think they had an advantage that a lot of other studios don't find themselves with, which is a lot of hype for a relatively unknown studio. But it might have also been their downfall, Trying to live up to that hype when you've never done anything before can probably, I'm sure, be a pretty daunting thing to deal with. But they promised a lot of things that seemed hard, seemed basically inevitable, that they were not going to be able to really bring to fruition for this game on release. And I think that's why a lot of people were real hesitant about what this game would be on release. And I guess on that front, they didn't disappoint because they didn't give us what they promised us, you know? And funny enough, like 2 days before this game released, they said, the developers were quoted as saying, "Don't call us scammers." And I'm sorry, but if you're going to need to be pushing out a quote saying, "Don't call us scammers," you're probably a scammer. And I do think that it was probably a bad situation of over-promising, and also just a bit of a too much hype being built about something that they had this grandiose idea of something that seemed very, very good, and they were pretty good at pushing out promotional material for it. But as we've seen before, promotional material can be a very misleading thing when it comes to what you're actually getting gameplay wise. People are getting better at seeing through that, and this is no exception for sure. People really started to see through after the initial kind of push here for what the hype build was on this game. People started going, where's the additional content? Where show us what you're building, show us what you're bringing to the table. We were getting closer and closer to release. We were getting nothing new. The things they were showing us looked like things from other games, and the game released. It was bad. It was nowhere near what they promised. Cool, Pinky. Nice, dude. And I don't think that game development's easy, but I think that, there's definitely something to be said for making sure that you're not trying to dupe potential consumers and potential fans of your project and things like that, right? I mean, we've seen good ways to go about the development process. Yeah, open lines of communication, showing more and more. Oh, geez, Ferret. God dang, dude. Unacceptable. Whatever you're trying to bring to the table, you do a good job of being very transparent, very open, giving looks occasionally of how the game's progressing and stuff like that. They didn't do a good job of that here. It definitely very quickly started seeming very, very much like some kind of scam game, and it definitely released like that too, So the day before has failed financially, Studio Fantastic says in a statement. Mere days after the messy early access release of the day before, the studio behind the project, Fantastic, has announced it's closing down. Fantastic announced the news via a post on X, formerly Twitter, stating the day before, previously one of Steam's most wish-listed games has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. The day before did briefly rise to the top of Steam's bestsellers and most played games list before dropping off dramatically as negative user reviews for the game poured in. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Quote, we invested all of our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of the day before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. The day before's launch was widely criticized for game crashing, bugs, and server issues. Fantastic has also been accused of misleading players about what kind of game the day before actually was, with many commenting on how the game was an extraction shooter as opposed to the open world survival MMO that it had been promised in the first place. Those accusations and the game's various technical issues led to it quickly earning a mostly negative user review score on Steam. Out of more than 18,000 user reviews, only 20% are currently positive. Fantastic did release one hotfix update for the day before on December 8th, following the game's launch, fixing various performance issues and addressing critical bugs. Sounds like that might be the last update the game will ever receive, with the future of one of Fantastic's previous games, Prop Night, also in question. At the moment, the future of the day before and prop night is unknown, but the servers will remain operational. Fantastic statement reads. Fantastic in a Steam Early Access Q&A stated the plan was for the day before to remain in early access for 6 to 8 months, with plans to add additional content and eventually increase the game's price. As of writing, the day before is still on sale via Steam for $40. And no announcements regarding the game's future have been posted on its official Steam page. Update, the day before is now no longer available for sale on Steam, though it's unclear if that is Fantastic's doing or Valve's. On X, users are accusing Fantastic of scamming players and demanding refunds. Quote, scam, y'all taking the money you made and are running from your scam. You false advertised the day before for years, put out a game nothing like what you advertised. Synth Potato writes on X, we all know you aren't shutting down because you lack funds, but because you're taking the money and running. Prior to launch, Fantastic came under scrutiny for its use of unpaid volunteer employees. The day before's launch had been delayed multiple times over the years, first due to the studio shifting the project to Unreal Engine 5, and more recently due to a trademark dispute with a calendar app of the same name. Yeah, it's a pretty big mess, dude, and it won't be it's not the first time we've seen something like this happen. It won't be the last time, you know. Again, I think that what this comes down to is people being aware. You know, I think that us as consumers and gaming enthusiasts, I speak about this quite often, but we really don't have anybody else to rely on but ourselves to protect one another and to protect ourselves from the scams that happen in the industry. There's no regulatory committee. There are no companies set up to provide us protection really from these studios that do these terrible things, and it's on us to kind of try and piece together these puzzles of which studios are worth supporting and which studios have shown us they're not worth supporting and should probably die off, you know. It's not always an easy process, but that's a big part of what this community is about. It's what we try to do, raise awareness of which ones are worth supporting and which ones are probably not worth supporting anymore, you know. And then it's each individual person's own, you know, responsibility of deciding whether or not they want to be, you know, part of the solution or to continue to be part of the problem, really, you know. So that's just the way it has to be. The day before devs have also said crap happens. On the latest episode of the fall of the day before, we joined Fantastic, the game's beleaguered developer, who has taken to social circles to publish a heartfelt, emotional statement. This was our first big experience. Crap happens. That sentiment is representative of the entire project, right? Hours ago, it was announced that Fantastic would be closing down its operations just 4 days after the release of the day before, the long-awaited game that was believed to be a scam since it was revealed back in 2021. It had one of the most suspicious, doubted development journeys in game history, and when it surfaced, it was made quite clear that the project was effectively a rug pull. And now the escape. There were countless indicators that this project was a failure from the start. As time went on, things got worse, and nothing Fantastic, the developer, did could help the situation. Now, the company is running rampant on social media, almost openly mocking the people who purchased the game at full price. That's right, this early access game that was barely built in a serviceable state was being sold for $40. This is the kind of thing the team is posting. This was our first big experience. Crap happens. It doesn't end there, though. On social media and Steam, things are changing. In recent hours, Fantastic CEO has disabled his Twitter account, and on Steam, the Fantastic's old games are being amended, with the developer being altered to read 8 points instead of Fantastic. Mytona's name is also being removed from everything, this being the publisher that reportedly funded the entire project from day one. The firm's website is nothing more than a landing page with the post explaining the studio is closing and the day before can no longer be purchased on Steam for obvious reasons. It seems like these Russian developers are making off into the night following the development of this notorious rug pull. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Russian-based company, yeah. Apparently. Yep. Oh yeah. Excuse me. So, let's see what else we got. Samsung's best 49-inch curved gaming monitor is less than half price today at the Discover Samsung Winter Sale. Hardcore gamers won't want to skip today's sizzling Samsung monitor deal. The Discover Samsung Winter Sale is going on now with a wide selection of deep discounts on some of Samsung's top-rated tech, including TVs, home appliances, and more. One of our favorite deals you can shop right now is on the 49-inch Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo curved gaming monitor. A dynamite display for anyone who wants true immersion in their favorite games. On sale for $1,000 today. If you have just a stack to throw down on a monitor, you know, down from its normal price of $2,200, it's $1,200 off and a discount of 57%. They are supposed to be pretty awesome monitors. Look at that bad boy. Super wide curved monitor that boasts a QLED display, 1 millisecond response rate, and 240 hertz refresh rate. Serve up some serious smoothness while in game. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just had a stack of hundreds. Yo, look at it. It's just in my armpit. Mini LED backlight combined with quantum dot QLED panel makes for some serious great looking color and brightness. For its spot on color accuracy, dynamic range as well. It's got a 5120 by 1440 resolution. 49-inch screen. I mean, that's quite the discount if you can afford it. It's a little bit pricey for my blood. You know what I'm saying? A little bit rich for my blood. But everybody's got their own different kind of situation budget-wise. You know what I'm saying? Cristiano Ronaldo joins a $40 million investment in major new free-to-play football game, video game UFL. This is the last article I have, guys, and we'll go play some games after this because I'm sure Pinky's already home, right? Right, Pinky. Sorry, I'm just kidding. We'll go play some games after this and have a good day. Hopefully, the mic will continue to work with me, and we'll get this all sorted before too long. Hopefully, it sounds better than it has. I probably just need to be talking a little bit more clear and loud. I think it is better than it was. Still sounds good. Okay, yeah. Part of it, I think, is my voice is still a little bit jacked. I've been speaking softer because of being sick and everything, but I'm trying to, get the mic in front of me a little bit more, speak a little more clearly, things like that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I adjusted a few settings there too. Who doesn't, bro? Come on, man. So I don't know. We'll keep moving forward. Hopefully it'll work with us. And sorry for any of the segments that might have sounded a little bit muffled or anything like that. But I think having this thing positioned in the correct place and speaking a little bit more clear and loudly is probably helping a little bit too. So I'll do my best. But if anybody has anything else to add, let me know, and we'll we'll address it before we move on and play games for the rest of the day. All right, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo joins $40 million investment in major new free-to-play football game, UFL. UFL is a new free-to-play football game backed by Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese icon is part of a group investing $40 million into the new title. Ronaldo will be involved in shaping UFL's development to set a new standard for immersive football gaming. The game is a fair-to-play experience emphasizing a skill-first approach with zero pay-to-win options. Gotta love that. Gotta also love that it doesn't say FIFA anywhere and it doesn't say EA anywhere. That's great. That's just great, you know. Home in 40-ish minutes. Oh, that's fine, dude. Yeah, you're good, brother. No worries. No worries, man. All good, buddy. All good. Football icon Ronaldo has become an investor in UFL, free-to-play football video game focused on fair, skill-first approach for gamers created by gamers. I'm thrilled to be a part of this project as UFL can become the new breed in football gaming. Yeah. Strikers Inc., the brand behind UFL, believes there is a significant opportunity for a new approach with a football game that combines outstanding gameplay and interactive experience for fans, while doing so with a fair philosophy that rewards the millions of passionate football gamers around the world. Eugene Nashalov, CEO of Strikers, said, "Having Ronaldo join us as a partner and investor is a significant step forward and an endorsement of our vision to create the leading game for football fans in the world." Official release date is yet to be announced. Closed testing phase began this autumn. Game will launch on PS5, Series X, and S consoles. It can be found and added to the wish list on PlayStation Store and Microsoft Store. UFL website. Have you guys heard about this at all? Getting some mead, huh? Let's go. Deny. Let's see this. Alpha gameplay was 8 months ago. They've got a 7 days ago insider number 4. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what they got here. It actually looked pretty decent. I mean, well, I think this is the important thing to take into consideration here. You know, what do we talk about all the time? We talk about how scummy it is that somebody like, yeah, I mean, you know, EA, what do they do every single year, right? I mean, I know that sports games aren't everybody's jam, but that's okay. You know, sports games aren't everybody's jam, just like RPGs aren't everybody's jam, just like, you know, shooters aren't everybody's jam. And I think the important thing here is I think the reason that this is a exciting promise. I'm not gonna play this game. I'll be quite honest with you. I'm not into playing football/soccer games. It's not my thing. I've played many sports games growing up. This was not one that I was ever fond of. I was never fond of soccer or football games. But for what it means for the industry, I am kind of excited about, because the big only one that really is out there as a true football soccer simulation game for fans of the sport to play comes from who? EA. And we all kind of feel the same way about EA, don't we? I mean, It'll take time to see whether UFL Insider, or UFL will be something that could potentially rival that, right, on a sim level for this sports game for soccer and football. But the hope is there because we need that competition, right? Because what does EA do every single year with these? EA does the same thing every year, whether it be with their Sports FC stuff, which used to be called FIFA, or with their Madden games, or with their NHL games. They do the same thing. They don't give a crap about improving the gameplay because they have no competition, right? All they care about is their Ultimate Team stuff. They slap a new year on the box every single year. They, it's just the same crap, man. And they take out the players that aren't going to be playing anymore in the league. They put in the new players that are coming up into the league. That's it. And then people buy it because they have nothing else to play. There's nothing else that compares. There's no other competition in the industry, right? And so that's why this is an exciting thing. Bringing in something else that can compete and take away from EA's scumminess, dude. That's where it's at. That's why this is important. At least have some competition to entice EA to raise the quality of their games. Something, dude. Yo, Rate the Bread. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Rate the drink: coffee, tea, milk, water, and soft drink. This is not FIFA. This is not FIFA. And by the way, FIFA is kind of dead in the water right now. Even FIFA is not being made by EA anymore, if you didn't know that. FIFA and EA are no longer in contract together. They split ways as of this year. So now EA's games are called EA Sports FC. FIFA is now making like Web3 based games. You can do your own research. They've come up with nothing good so far. And yeah. And so EA is continuing to make their soccer/football games. They're called EA Sports FC. They are the same games they've always made. They just are not including any kind of FIFA branding in them anymore. And so this is what we're talking about right now, is a free-to-play football game, which is coming out on consoles, called UFL. It's being sponsored by Ronaldo, and it looks pretty good, actually. I didn't know anything about it. So the EA stuff's the same thing, just a new name. Yep, and it just doesn't include FIFA stuff in it. But if you're interested, this is the website for the UFL stuff. Apparently, it's a free game. This is not EA stuff. This is from Strikers. You can see Strikers Incorporated down here. This is the video we just watched of it. So it does look pretty good. And that's what I was talking about. I think it's good that there's something else in the industry besides EA. I do not like EA, dude. I'm not a fan of that company. But if you want to take a look at what this game is, it's that right there. And now I'll do your ratings, my friend. Cool. So, Rate the Bread. This is what we do every day, though, by the way, if you're not familiar. We always do video gaming news before we hop in and start playing games each day. So we go through like a search of Google of like what's gone on in the video gaming industry, what's new, what can we find to stay current on, stuff like that. And for anybody else that's hanging out that's not familiar, this is what we do every day, man. We start off 6 days a week. We're live. We start off 6 a.m. CST CDT with video gaming news. Then we play games the rest of the day. So just always doing the news, trying to stay current, on what's going on in the industry. It's important to me. It's important to a lot of our other community members, and that's what we do. So rate the drink: coffee, tea, milk, water, and soft drink. Okay, I've got a bit of a caveat here. So coffee, number 1. Tea would be my number 2. Soft drinks will be last for me. Okay? Soft drinks will be last for me. I'm not a big soft drink drinker. I'll occasionally have one as like a bit of a dessert kind of thing. But usually if I have one, it's either like I like these things called reeds. Let me show you what these are. They're all natural ginger rails or ginger beers. Reeds, ginger beers or ginger brews. These things are really, really good, man. These things are awesome. They're all natural. They're made with a ton of real ginger, pineapple juice, pure cane sugar. They're really, really good, man. So if I have a soda, like this is normally what I'm gonna drink. It would be something like this, okay? Or I'll drink a root beer. I love root beer, dude. I'll drink a root beer as well. But I like water and I love milk. The thing is, I can't drink dairy milk anymore. And I'm not lactose intolerant. I just can't drink milk without it ruining me. It destroys me, man. And it actually, a lot of adults get like that. So whenever I was a young adult, you know, I got to where I couldn't drink dairy milk anymore. I can eat cheese, whatever, it doesn't bother me. But if I drink dairy milk, which I love, never understood the hype behind root beer. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's my thing. I love root beer. Some people don't really enjoy it. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's what makes us great as being different human beings. You know what I mean? And this whole community is about embracing our differences, man. So I respect it. I love root beer, but doesn't mean everybody else has to. You know what I mean? And I respect it. More root beer for me, buddy. More root beer for me, man. I like the taste of it. I don't know, man. It's just my jam, dude. So milk, I've been drinking almond milk forever, ever, dude, and I love it. It's definitely not the same thing as like whole dairy milk. Creamy dairy milk, dude, is so good. Root beer floats are amazing. I agree, true. Dairy milk is so flippin' delicious, but it destroys me. It's one of the only things that my body just can't like digest, dude. It's really, really weird. And I've got a really good palate too. There are very few things that I'm not a fan of eating, you know? Coffee, tea, soft drink, milk, yeah. Yeah, so my thing is like, if I'm gonna eat a cookie or something, dude, I'm gonna have some almond milk, dude. That's my thing. Like, if I'm gonna have a cookie, dude, I gotta have some almond milk with it. That's my thing. I can't just eat cookies without milk. I need milk. I need it, dude. You know? But, yeah, I'm not a big soft drink drinker, but, you know, I'll have one every once in a while. It's good. But, I need to drink more water. It's not my favorite thing, though, you know? So I'll go coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. I like coffee. Coffee, tea, probably water, milk, and then soft drinks for me, buddy. That's the way it's going to go. Yeah. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you back in here. Yeah, it's good to see you. Everybody, that's the jam for video gaming news this morning. We're going to go play video games for the rest of the day. So for anybody that's hanging out that's not familiar with what we do, this is the jam, dude. We start off with video gaming news. Every single day we stream. This is the way it goes, which is 6 days a week, starting off at 6 a.m. CST CDT. We begin with video gaming news. We stay current on what's going on in the industry. We try to flesh out a lot of these ideas together, promote a healthier video gaming industry, because this is the world we love, right? And try to raise awareness about maybe some of the more unhealthy things that are happening in the industry. After that, as we're about to do, we segue into playing games for the rest of the day. Like today, we're going to go play what should be day 22, day 23 of Baldur's Gate 3 with our buddy Pinky. All right. So if you're seeing this now or as a VOD later on, and you're enjoying it, that I would prompt you to come hang out with us when we are live. 6 days a week, starting at 6 a.m. CST, CDT. We have a great community here, amazing people, trying to spread good vibes, dude. Have a good time together. Video games brings us together, but we try to, you know, promote a community that is all about accepting one another for who we are as being different, being human beings. As long as you're a good person, dude, that's what this is about. If you're a good person, dude, spreading good vibes, you belong here with us. You know, be void of toxicity, understand that it's okay to be different, be civil about things, come be a part of what we do. You know, this is what it's about. But if you're interested in seeing any of our other content, man, all of our most of our other content's out there on either Twitch or YouTube. Video gaming news segments, gameplay playthroughs we've done, funny clips and highlights, all that stuff. So go check it out, and if you're enjoying it, come be a part of what we do. Other than that, man, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. We will not be live tomorrow because it is Wednesday. That's our normal day off. But we will be back for our next episode of Video Gaming News on Thursday for December 14th. Stream's not going anywhere. Stream's not going down. I'm just going to run us an outro real quick. And as soon as that's over, we will be getting ready to start our video game playthrough for the rest of the day. All right. Thanks for the awesome news segment. Be right back. What up, General Happiness? What up, Winter? My peoples.